Beware the Ides of March. Is there someone inside the government that's going to expose the felons' plans and crimes? Is this crypto reserve thing all about funneling money to Putin? Is the felon using North Korea to communicate secretly with Putin and to funnel money? Will there be some sort of like Edward Snowden release of information that helps bring down the felon? And do our EU allies having to have agents inside the United States and Russia in case something really wrong goes on? Let's look into all of that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First of all, a huge thank you to all the subscribers, to everybody who watches the videos, those of you that comment on the videos, and those that have given money to the channel. A huge amount of gratitude to you. Thank you, everybody, for everything that you do for the channel. So I had a very interesting scrying session early this morning, in which I was shown first the image of Edward Snowden, which in itself is interesting. And then I was shown images of, so it was like Edward Snowden was like a Barbie doll, like a doll, for the lack of a better way to describe it. And I was showed images of Obama and Biden and Hillary Clinton. And it's like they were just moving this doll around inside the government. And so the question then becomes, is there somebody on the inside who appears to be a Trump loyalist, but is actually not a Trump loyalist? For example, is there somebody inside the NSA? Is there somebody inside the CIA? Is there somebody inside the FBI that they're not going to remove because they think that they're loyal to Trump, but it really was a bigger plan to start with? So let's look into that. But before we get to there, let's look at some of the crimes that I was also shown. So um, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I think I posted something about the crypto markets. North Korea had stole like $1.2 billion worth of cryptocurrency, and the crypto crashed, and now it's gone back up because of this announcement of this crypto reserve fund that the government is going to be doing, which was exactly in line with my 2025 predictions of a crash and then a quick rebound. So, is this really just a way to funnel money for various activities? And is North Korea helping the felon communicate with Putin and funnel money? And for entertainment purposes only, obviously, all of this is just for entertainment purposes only. Are they using crypto to help traffic in drugs, people, and guns? There was something else I was shown, and I can't remember if it was the last reading that I posted or the reading before. I really paused when we got the Seven of Cups, and the word trafficking came into my mind, and that card can deal with more like drugs. So, are they doing a whole bunch of illegal activities with various people around the world? I don't think it'd be too surprising if that's the case. Okay, so where do we start? Let's just start with is North Korea being used to help with secret communications? Is the felon and his cronies using North Korea to communicate secretly with Putin and others? So I can see Kim Jong-un, and he's got like a smirky grin on his face, as if, it's kind of like reminds me of some Vincent Price movies, sort of evil grin. North Korea being used to funnel communications to Putin. North Korea being used to funnel information to Putin. I think it might be going through a group of network that they have set up in China. Yeah, so we get the Wheel of Fortune. They're trying to spin the information somehow and get it to where it needs to go. The challenge is there's a lot of trust issues of the felon, even amongst his cronies. And so this is all sort of new, this like bigger plan of what is going on. But here's a message coming forward. It's about money. So I think they might be using North Korea to funnel money. And like, maybe this crypto hack was really just a way to get money to Putin to pay off some sort of debt. There's a lot of strength in the past around this idea. Like they all came together and decided this was a good idea. We've got three major arcanas, by the way, out of the first four cards, which is means there's a lot of energy around this. Yeah, and the near term outcome with the Ten of Swords. This is why I started the video with Beware the Ides of March. I think this is going to be a downfall later for the felon. So we get the Ten of Swords, complete and utter downfall, and into a very dark cycle. Passionate, possibly even illegal messages going out. We get the Sun card. Eventually, there's going to be full illuminations. This is good. We're going to know all the details eventually. In the hopes and fears, we get the Knight of Swords. They're hoping they can do things quickly enough that they can accomplish their goal. And this isn't the felon's goal. This is their goal. Whatever Putin's goal is, whatever the intermediaries are that are involved in these schemes' goal is, whether it's just making money. Their hope is that they could do it fast enough before it all comes crashing down. And I really feel strongly that's going to come crashing down. The first outcome card is defending oneself. So defend, deny, deflect. We'll see a lot of that. Defend, deny, and deflect. We already do see it, but ultimately it's about coming together, circles of support, reunions, possibly even the country coming back together and realizing the dark cycle that we were in. And we get the moon card, things coming to the surface, things waiting to be revealed. So, yeah, I mean, underneath, we get the chariot card. This is all about trafficking money or laundering money, I guess is probably the more appropriate word. Trafficking guns, drugs for entertainment purposes only. Um, and probably people. It's about keeping certain things confined, secret, but ultimately judgment is coming, and the message will be too loud for people to ignore. Okay, so did they set up, is this crypto reserve fund, is that all just about funneling money? So I'm not a huge crypto expert by any stretch of the imagination. I know there are certain cryptocurrencies that are harder to track than others. So the whole crypto reserve thing about making money, laundering money, moving money. this whole crypto reserve thing about making money, laundering money, moving money. You say, I see like an image of somebody, I'm not sure who, and it's like they're on the computer and it's like you'd log in to see the balance of your bank account. So I think so. Yeah. So in the water, there's like the image of, I forget, the Monopoly Man is what it looks like with like a bag of money without funneling money, laundering money. It's crypto reserve. It's on the surface, it seems like a terrible idea, but I'm not a crypto expert by any stretch. So we get the King of Swords. So forging a new path, leadership, taking a new step, consistency. The challenge is the Page of Cups. The challenge is the messaging around it. I don't think people understand it enough to know what it is or what it does. I've always been very skeptical of its actual long-term value, but hmm, the Seven of Pentacles, it's planting seeds to start something bigger. And I think the something bigger is criminal activity for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, in the past, we get abuse of power. We get the Emperor card, leadership, not just the presidency of the United States, but also leaders around the world. I don't think in Europe, I don't get that, but like Putin, maybe Kim Jong-un, possibly some others in the former Soviet Union countries like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan. Maybe maybe everybody's seeing this as a way to kind of exchange money for goods. It's definitely a crossroads. It's going to change things for in the future forever. It's a matter of what path we're going to pick, whether this gets established or not. If it does, it's going to change things. It's going to definitely allow for more corruption in the governments. Because once the United States does this, then other countries will follow, right? And then all of a sudden, there's all these ways of laundering money. In the near term outcome, we get passion. There's a lot of passion behind this. A lot of people think this is a great idea, and a lot of people don't. So there are people on both sides of this argument. There are people that will say, oh, this would be a great way to pay off the debt. I don't buy that. Cryptocurrency values go up when the economy goes up. When the economy goes down, the values come down. It's not, they're pretty correlated. Yeah, it's all about money and about leadership around money and how to control it. It's about wish fulfillment too, with the Nine of Cups. It's about having a way to easily pay loans and debts without anybody knowing. It's about being able to, manipulate, blackmail, traffic, all of those things and exchange monetary funds in a way that's a little bit more hidden, but under the guise of the government, which makes it even more perverse. the hopes and fears is that people will come together. This is a hope for us, maybe a fear for the bad guys, is that people will come together and reunite under a common purpose. So this is the Ten of Cups, and realize that, we don't need to do this. There's really almost no good that can come from this that I see personally. However, I do think it's inevitable. I think they're going to do it. I think it's all about foreign influence and influencing people abroad, as well as people abroad influencing the felon and the people in his administration. And I mean, the Three of Wands, I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Why do they want to do it? It's about deceit. It's about thievery. It's about another way of stealing the taxpayers' money without um, anybody knowing or having an accounting of it. It also makes you wonder, why are they trying to cut so much money out of the budget, even though it seems rather unhealthy? Is it so that they have more money to do these things with? And ultimately, we get the Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold. This is us, the taxpayers, being left out in the cold, and not just in the United States, I think around the world, with a few exceptions. Because if the United States market crashes, generally everything crashes. So being left out in the cold, poverty, these aren't very good cards. Uh, an end of a cycle, instability, perhaps, too much to juggle, particularly with foreign assets with the current system. So they need something better. But ultimately, we're going to get the truth. The truth will come out. So I don't think we should fret. I don't think we should worry excessively about this. I think we should pay attention and be aware. And then there'll be full illumination with the sun card. Everything's going to come to the surface. We're going to know everything. And then we'll have to make choices. And ultimately, our choices will have to deal with what's best for the next generation. Six of Cups. We get the Death card, the end of something or someone. What's it the end of? It's the end of this devil energy, this toxicity, this manipulation, this abuse of power, this addictive behavior. So, yeah, I think this whole idea of setting up a crypto reserve is, there's more to the story than what they're just saying. It's, you know, there's more to it. Let's maybe just really quickly ask. Uh, well, I think we'll save will it be successful till we get to all the other stuff on the list. So let's just ask point blank. We've kind of been dilly-dallying around this question for a while, but for entertainment purposes only, is the felon Putin, others, is the felon and others in positions of power, let's put it that way. Is the felon and others in positions and power trafficking in drugs, guns, money laundering, trafficking in people as well? Are they are they doing these things? Are they trafficking guns, money, people, drugs? Yeah, I'm very clearly getting an image in the water of like it's a white prescription bottle. It feels like it's like some sort of opioid. Doesn't really have anything written on it. I don't think it's just illegal drugs that they're trafficking, but let's see what the cards say. And again, for entertainment purposes, trafficking. Um, there might be some crazy activity in South America with one of the governments really changing course on something. Let's see if we get any more on that. Otherwise, let's leave that for next time. We get the card for the Democrats. It's also a yes card. We could take it that way. The challenge is forming new partnerships and partnerships of trust with the Lovers card. That's the challenge. We get the card for stability, challenging the status quo, perhaps. In the past, we get loss. I think we get loss of stability, and it's in the past. And that happened, on January 20th. I think we can all agree that we've lost stability over the last 5 or 6 weeks. In the sky, we get the Queen of Wands, steadiness, thoughtfulness, planning. Near-term outcome, we get the Hermit card. Very few people know what's actually going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it's less than 10. We get a surprising new beginning. And I think this is what the surprising new beginning is that the government is involved in these type of activities. We get the card for Elon Musk, the magician, dark energy at work, manipulation, the hopes and fears is being left out in the cold, being poor. I think this is a fear, and particularly a fear for the felon. I think the felon has to do this. I don't think the felon has a choice. I think there's so much stuff on him that is incredibly damaging that he basically has to do these things. Yeah, I mean it can't be any more clear than that. They're doing it, right? We get the chariot card as the outcome. Um, movement, trafficking. We get anxiety. It's creating a lot of worry for a lot of people inside. And we get the Queen of Cups. If someone's orchestrating the plan, it's not the felon. The felon's just allowing it to happen. We'll look into that too. Underneath, we had moderation. Now we're at a crossroads. Yeah. It's Seven of Swords, deceit, thievery, trying to get away with things. I mean, the cards are pretty clear here. This is what they're doing. But I think this is our hope here. There's the Page of Swords. This is sometimes the spy in the camp. Why is that? What's the imagery here? The imagery is that the spy is balancing on a tightrope. They have to be very careful to keep themselves safe, yet they're carrying all this information around. That's what the light bulbs in the book represent. The spy in the camp leads to the tower, which leads to reunions and celebration. So something big happens, and we kind of get back to a sense of normalcy, a very fiery new start, more passion, more diligence around things, repayments of loans and debts, heavy burdens for those involved, being completely wounded in battle. This is sometimes a minor arcana death card too. Um, yeah, the seeds have been planted already. things are going to come to the surface. We'll move out of the troubled waters and we'll have celebrations. Why? Well, because of the truth. The truth is going to come out. And it's not going to be pretty when it does, but when it does, it's going to lead to a much better situation for the world, not just for the United States, but for the world, because everybody is harmed by these actions. So who's the ringleader of it all? I don't think the felon is. I think he's just being blackmailed into it for, obviously I'm just doing a tarot reading and this is for entertainment purposes. But the other hit that I got when I was scrying was about the US stopping his offensive cybersecurity operation. And it was like the image was like a being who appeared to be Hegseth and Putin, whose energy I can recognize a little bit easier. And it's like they were connected by a thin fiber line. And so I want to ask the question, did Putin order the felon in Hegseth to do that? Is this actually Putin's idea to get rid of these offensive cyber operations? It just seems like a really poor idea. I don't know why we would do it. Is Putin behind the ending of these cybersecurity operations? Being these offensive cybersecurity. I'm getting an image of a donut. I don't know what that means. Let's see how I can. I think I give it now. So this is a way to just keep us running around in circles and never getting anywhere. It's like the physics analogy. If you know the ant on the donut doesn't know that there's anything not on the donut. Order these studies. I think so. Maybe not directly, but his minions certainly were behind following his orders. Was done quickly. I don't think they were expecting to be asked to do this. There's a little worry that this is going to cause a downfall, that this is going to allow Putin and his ilk to infiltrate some of the systems in the US because we're no longer going to actively be engaged in these things. Yeah, if one plan doesn't work, try another. It seems like Putin might have tried something else to get this done and then was able to do it. In the past, we had guardrails, but they're in the past. The guardrails are down now. There are no guardrails. And we get anxiety. There's a lot of worry in the intelligence community about this. The near term outcome we get Elon Musk. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Elon Musk's idea with Putin. We'll ask a question about those two here in just a second. We do get the star card of protection. So I think there are people in the government that the Trump administration doesn't know about, and we'll get more into that too, that are going to provide some layers of protection. So this is planting the seeds for further action towards Russia that's favorable to Russia, such as lifting sanctions. It's just the beginning. In the hopes and fears, we get the truth. We want the truth to come out. That's a fear for Putin and the felon and Hegseth, but and it's inevitable. It's going to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if our European allies expose it. The circles of support and celebration, a message coming forward about money. So yeah, it's like, okay, let's create a crypto reserve. Let's lessen our cybersecurity. It's very easy to hack and steal crypto. Seems like a pretty good way to transfer money. We get the government, higher education, the Pope, possibly the Pope's sick, very sick. Um, in the courts. The courts actually might put some guardrails. They're very illusional. They're very delusional. This might involve, again, some ways of trafficking drugs. We get the Emperor card, abuse of power and the leadership, which is very clear that's what's going on. We get the Three of Swords, though. It's going to lead to a downfall or an ending or, a medical crisis. Things will be revealed. What'll be revealed? The stealing, the Seven of Swords, the deceit, the deception. That's what's going to be revealed. Who's going to reveal it? The Democrats. I know a lot of people think they're not doing anything, and it does feel that way, but I think they are doing things behind the surface. They do feel slightly confined. Why? Well, we get the King of Swords, but he doesn't quite have the Ace of Swords yet. So he doesn't quite have the truth, but they're about to get the truth, and then things are going to go full force. Okay. So Putin wanted that program ended. That's what that's about. I think it was a direct order. Let's just ask if Putin and uh, Musk are in direct communications. Are there direct communications between Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin about what's going on in the United States government? There's direct. All evidence seems to support that there are. I can't remember what congressman it was, but at a hearing pointed out all these inspector generals that were fired, and they were overseeing like over 30 investigations into Tesla or Starlink or Musk. Musk in direct contact. This also might be a reason to get rid of some cybersecurity to keep that secret. And to let Twitter steal and sell information, perhaps too. Yeah, I mean, we get the King of Wands. It's a yes card, but it's also passion, leadership. The challenge for them is the courts, the government, not exposing them, perhaps even higher education. I wouldn't be surprised if higher ed plays a bigger role in monitoring things. without the government knowing. Um, heavy burdens. Yeah, and in the past we get repayments of loans and debts, exchanging of money and ideas. They're talking to one another. We get ill health. That's an interesting card up there. This could be like ill mental health for Musk. Why is he doing these things? Because, well, maybe he's mentally just not all there. In the near term future, we get circles of support and celebrations. They're going to think they've gotten away with it, but it's going to come crashing down because we get the world card, which is the end of a cycle, an end of a very big cycle. We've gotten the world card a lot in the last few readings. We get being left out in the cold and poverty. And I think this is about Musk. He's already lost billions and billions of dollars this year just in Tesla stock. The hopes and fears is that the stuff will come out quickly. That's a hope, and a fear for them. I'm not sure it'll come out quickly or how quickly is defined. But they're together, Putin, Musk, and the felon. There's three of them, the three of pentacles, circles of support around money. They're using each other to manipulate financial markets. Here's the card for Russia, the Empress. So for sure, that's what's going on. And here's them together, partnerships. So yeah, Putin and Musk have something going on. We get a fiery new beginning. We get death again. We get bombshells and surprises, fiery messages coming forward about what? Again, this is a different deck. The Seven of Swords. I think this is our third or fourth time already. It's about deceit, deception, thievery. But things will come to the surface and they'll be left all alone. The Hermit card. So Putin and Musk are chit-chatting, that's for sure. They're trying to get things done behind the scenes, undetected. Whether they're successful, um, I don't know. Okay, so let's get to the Snowden question. I think this is one of the new decks that you all bought. This is the Unveiled Tarot, and I do have the Moon Magic deck now, so we'll use that too. Um, did Obama, Biden, Hillary Clinton, Anthony Blinken, did they, uh, Millie Kelly, those that group of people, Lloyd Austin, did they install people that they knew would defend the Constitution inside the NSA, CIA, FBI, military that wouldn't be exposed by Trump and fired? Are there people inside the government that'll be loyal to the Constitution? I'm getting a big flashing yes. I think Obama started this before he became president the first time. The felon, that is, became president the first time. And then Biden started and continued. And those people might already have been there for 20 years. Some of them, I think they keep constantly keeping those people hidden and safe. Are there people in the government that are willing to expose them? This is a fun little deck. So thank you all for donating to the channel. Yeah, we get the page of cups, something coming out, bombshells and surprises. Um, you know, there's an individual who's surrounded by fishes. That's what I see. The fishes are the status quo people, but this individual's not. This individual or individuals are willing to go out on a limb and do what's right. The challenge is the Four of Wands. This is the card for, sometimes it's the card for the voters, sometimes it's the marriage card. Here, I think the challenge is the marriage between Putin and the felon, and between the felon and Musk, and maybe it's like a three-way kind of marriage. Might even involve a little bit of North Korean. Yeah. Why, right now they have to pretend that they're playing the game. We get the devil card. This is mis and disinformation, abuse of power, not being who you really are. And I think this unveiled tarot reveals this devil card in a very good way. So the couple standing up appear one way in the unveiled part, or in the veiled part, and then another. So there are people in the government who aren't who people really think they are, but they're good guys. They're not bad guys. In the past, we have Russia. That's what started this whole thing, was the felon's relationship with Russia. So that led Biden and Clinton and Obama, Blinken, Austin, all of these people to start instilling people in the government as guardrails. Yeah, if one plan doesn't work, try another. There are plans in place, so I don't think we should be completely nervous. In the near future, there's going to be confinement. They're going to contain all the damage. It'll get contained. I don't know how soon. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but I think, perhaps when things really start to get rolling and crazy, if assuming, the felon's around, and I've always thought that a lot of this will get exposed after the felon's not. Um, it'll get exposed and people will have to deal with it. And then we'll walk away from the things that aren't serving us. This is the Eight of Cups. I'm sorry about the sun glaring. Um, so walking away from things that don't serve us, just exiting. I mean, this card's a great demonstration of the Eight of Cups. It's the person jumping off the roof to get off of the way from the party, right? It doesn't serve them anymore to be part of this group. So we'll see people taking the exit ramp, exposing the bad people and starting a different thing. We get wish fulfillment. So amongst the chaos, there are people that are calmly moving forward. In the hopes and fears, we get the hanged man, pausing and suspending. So when everything seems bleak and hopeless, remember there's a new perspective happening, and that's a hope. Yeah, we get circles of support and celebration for these people that are inside the government that aren't Trump loyalists, but probably appear to be Trump loyalists. And I have no idea who they are, and I don't necessarily know that we should try to figure that out. And it's going to lead to complete and utter downfall, the Ten of Swords. Here, everything looks like it's going, and then somebody in the middle is completely stabbed in the back with 10 swords. It's going to come out of nowhere. They're not going to be expecting it. It's very much going to be like an Edward Snowden event. And we get the Ten of Pentacles again, ending of a cycle and passing things down to the next generation intact for their benefit, like an inheritance. So these are good cards. Yeah, they're the spies in the camp, but they're on the right side, the Page of Swords, and they're protected and they have the truth. It's ready to come out when needed, or they're gathering the truth. So I feel pretty confident that that's what's going on there. So, okay, I think this video is getting kind of long, but let's ask another question. So this is the Earth Moon Magic deck that the channel bought. So thank you for that. Okay. So does the EU and others have like an emergency exit route? Now I'm just gonna ask what I want to ask. It sounds kind of extreme. I've asked this question before, but it makes more sense in this context. Are there plans to take out the felon, whatever take out means, if things go seriously awry? Are there plans to take out the felon if it becomes necessary? And possibly Putin too. Let's just ask about the felon. That Oval Office meeting changed everything. It really did. I find it somewhat ironic that people in the US government are demanding the leader of a foreign country resign when we would never, could you imagine if all of Europe demanded that the felon resign? Right. I don't think they'd be so keen about foreign influence then. Are there plans to take out or take him down? Let's just put it that way. Are there plans to take down the felon, whatever that might mean? Plans to take down. Some of them already is in action. I do think it's a last resort, though. I don't think it's something that would be done lightly. We get the devil card, mis and disinformation, abuse of power. So he's standing there abusing power, and we're basically left to be abused, manipulated, embarrassed, whatever words describe how you're feeling. The challenge is the lovers. This is partnerships. The challenge is to be able to do this without to find the correct partners in the plan to do it. Now, whether these are the spies within the government, that could be the case. We're at a crossroads with the Two of Swords. In the past, we had moderation with temperance. We don't have moderation anymore. We have the felon. In the sky, we have confinement, Eight of Swords. So they're trying to contain the damage, and I think they're willing to do things to assure that happens. In the near-term outcome, we have deceit and deception. I think this is the felon continuing to trick us. This imagery is kind of interesting, although it's kind of a little bit hard to see because these cards are so dark. But it's like a person standing, it's like a cult leader, is what I get when I look at this card. And of course, the Seven of Swords is about deception. So preaching untruths. That's come up a lot. And here's the card for the felon, the King of Pentacles. So, and we get the Knight of Wands, messages coming forward, inescapable messages. The imagery on this card, I think, is great. It's like the message isn't just coming forward with passion and with fire and strength. It's going to be unavoidable and it will be heard. And then the hopes and fears, we get the Queen of Wands. This is new leadership, hope for somebody new to take control. In the outcome, we get the Eight of Pentacles. If one plan doesn't work, try another. Hard at work to contain this. We get sorry, the Celestial Weaver. I thought that's what it said. This is a special card for this deck. So all of this is part of some big grand plan being weaved together to take him out. And then we get the Phoenix. So out of the ashes, we'll start anew. So these are good cards. I think there's a lot of things in place that we don't know about. We get the Six of Pentacles, exchanging of information, leadership. We have ill health, the Four of Swords, things moving quickly with the Knights. Swords, the Knight of Cups, messages about relationships. And we get the Star card of hope. We get the Democrats. And we get the Hanged Man, pausing, suspension, rethinking our institutions and how they act. Okay, so I think lots of big energy in the month of March. Kind of an overview of where I think we're at and what's going on. I'll be back with another reading soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.